Welcome back to Real Talk the School Forgot. I'm Chris and I'm here with my co host Soren. Today we're diving into a topic that is bigger than budgeting, bigger than investing, and honestly, bigger than you. Today is about your future family, the people who will one day rely on every decision you're making right now.
And if you tuned in last week, we broke down the big three: cash flow, protection, and wealth building, the pillars of financial clarity. Today, we're taking that foundation and expanding it into a vision. What financial responsibility looks like when you zoom out beyond just yourself.
Yeah, and this is the moment where money becomes more than math, it becomes purpose. We're talking about planning early so you can create stability later. Investing in tools like Roth IRAs, 529 plans, tackling your debt so it doesn't swallow your future, and understanding how life insurance becomes the safety net your family needs when life throws its curveballs.
Whether kids feel like a lifetime away or maybe, right around the corner, this episode is about, your long-term impact. So let's, dive right in. Segment 1, your future family mindset. Why thinking ahead, creates stability, not pressure. Most people wait until they're getting married or expecting a kid or facing, huge life transitions before they say, "Okay, yeah, I should probably get my money together."
Yeah, and when you wait, the decisions feel much heavier. Now you're not just thinking about yourself, you're protecting a family. That pressure makes people freeze. So, story number one, we're going to talk about the early planner. We had a listener, and we'll call him Todd. At 23, he was healthy, single, no kids, no partner, but he bought life insurance early and, just said, future me might thank me later.
And now he's 30, married, expecting a baby, and still paying an insanely low rate because he locked in his preferred health pricing in his early 20s.
Yeah, the same policy today would cost him multiples more.
And then there's story two, the late starter. There's Mike. He waited till his 30s, had a couple of medical events in his 20s, nothing major, but it changed his classification.
Yeah, he ended up paying 3 to 5 times more than Todd's same coverage, similar age. The only difference was timing.
Your financial life isn't, just shaped by your income. It's shaped by when you truly start.
Yeah, habits form before responsibility hits. Your habits today are training your future self. So if you're chaotic now, you'll be chaotic later, just with more responsibility.
It's like the gym. You don't wait until that championship game to, start training. You build that muscle beforehand. Financial muscles work the exact same way. And then, segment two, planning early creates that stability, and waiting too long creates true chaos. Your decisions today aren't just shaping your life, they're shaping the lives of the people you haven't even met yet. Your future spouse, your future kids, or maybe even your future grandkids.
Planning early isn't about turning into a financial robot either. It's about giving yourself and your future family breathing room. When you start early, every good decision compounds.
When you start late, you're lifting the weight with less time, more responsibilities, and more people depending on you.
We've sat with people in their 50s doing all the right things, just 20 years too late. They're swimming uphill, and that stress is so real.
Early planning is the difference between building life with intention and putting out fires for decades.
So, segment three, preparing for your kid's future, it's your future family education toolkit. We're talking 529 plans. Those teenage years begin at birth. And it's no surprise, but college costs are exploding. Student loans are suffocating young adults. So, let's be very clear: the earlier you prepare for education costs, the more freedom your kids will have.
And the 529 plan is truly the MVP of college planning. Tax free growth, tax free withdrawals, huge contribution limits, full parental control can transfer it between your children too. And starting in 2024, unused 529 funds can roll right into a Roth IRA for your children. That's, generational planning.
And here's the math people miss. So, if you start at birth and, put away $150 a month, that's $70,000 by the age of 18. But let's say you wait a little bit and start at the age of 10, you'll have to put away close to $500 a month for your child to catch up and reach that $70,000 mark by the age of 18. Waiting multiplies the cost dramatically.
All right, Chris, let's shift into something most people never even think about for college planning: life insurance on a child, specifically juvenile whole life policies with cash value.
Now, before anyone freaks out, this isn't about the death benefit. It's about the cash value, which grows tax advantage and can become a powerful education funding tool.
Exactly. And here's what makes these, policies unique. The cash value grows every single year, guaranteed. No market swings, no volatility, no worrying about what stock market is doing in your kid's senior year.
And here's the part parents love. You can access that cash value for anything, college, trade school, their first car, down payment on a home. I mean, business seed money. It's so flexible, it's private, and there are no FAFSA penalties because cash value life insurance does not get counted against financial aid calculators.
Plus, when you start these policies early, like at birth or in childhood, the growth curve is incredible. By the time your kid hits 18, parents often have tens of thousands of dollars available without ever putting their money at risk.
And when the child becomes an adult, they can keep that policy for life. They inherit not just the financial help, but a financial foundation that keeps growing long after they're done with college.
So, while 529 plans are great for college only expenses, these policies give you something different: flexibility, guarantees, and lifelong benefits. It's the hidden tool most families never even hear about, but it can completely change the game in college planning.
Yeah, and we'll touch on custodial accounts as well. UGMA, UTMA. These accounts are great for teaching kids about money early.
Downside, they heavily count against that financial aid. And your child owns the money right at 18 or 21, meaning if they want that motorcycle, it's legally their call.
Yeah, so custodial accounts are great for gifts, early investing, but not necessarily a replacement for a 529. And moving on to segment four, one of my favorites, mortgages, DTI, and real debt responsibility. Mortgages, they're a debt you must respect. A mortgage is much more than just a loan, it's a 15 to 30-year commitment that shapes your entire financial life. It affects your cash flow, your stress, your ability to invest, and ultimately your family's stability. This is the moment where long-term thinking truly matters.
The truth is, lenders care about one thing almost above anything else: your DTI, your debt to income ratio. It's the single biggest indicator of whether you can actually handle a mortgage. To understand it, DTI like a pro, DTI is simple. DTI equals total monthly debt payments divided by gross monthly income. But the impact, massive. Under 36%, you're in the safe zone. Lenders see you as stable, you get better rates, better programs, better options. 36 to 43%, that's the yellow zone. You could still get approved, but loan options shrink and rates may climb. Above 43%, that's the danger zone. Many lenders won't even look at your application. 50% plus, you're squeezing your future. Every dollar is already spoken for before you even earn it.
Buying a house with high DTI is like taking on a second job you didn't even know you applied for. It's like running a marathon with a weighted vest on. And so, why a mortgage isn't just a payment? People think if I can afford the monthly payment, I'm good. But the payment is just the visible part.
It's the hidden costs that crush families: property taxes, homeowners insurance, maintenance, repairs, HOA fees, appliance breaking at 2 a.m., that roof nobody told you was 18 years old when you bought the house.
And the rule of thumb is to expect 1 to 3% of your home's value in annual maintenance. For example, on a $400,000 home, that's $4,000, $12,000 a year. And nobody puts that in an Instagram caption, on social media, on TikTok. I mean, it's just not out there.
No, and how a mortgage can quietly kill your future cash flow. Here's what most people don't realize: a mortgage doesn't just cost money, it controls your money. A too large of mortgage delays retirement by 10 to 15 years, eliminates investing opportunities, reduces your ability to save for your kids' college, increases stress, and reduce, financial flexibility, turns every unexpected bill into that crisis.
I've sat with families who make great income but feel broke every single month because their mortgage eats at 40 to 50% of their take home pay. And the psychological side, the part that no one talks about, there's a stress tax that comes with owning too much house. You feel it every month when you go to pay the bills, but you also feel it at night when you're laying in bed asking, can we sustain this long term?
And here's the real danger: when money gets tight, people stop investing. They stop saving, they stop preparing. The mortgage, becomes priority. and everything else just gets sacrificed.
Yeah. So two real stories, that hit pretty hard is story number one, the overbuyer. We had a couple who bought right at the top of their approval limit. Beautiful home, amazing layout, but terrible timing. And so within a year, childcare costs hit, interest rates went up on their car loan, and suddenly they were choosing between extra mortgage payments and retirement savings. And guess which one lost?
Yeah. And then story two, the strategist. Another couple bought, well below their approval limit on purpose. Their DTI stayed low 30s. That extra breathing room means they could invest consistently, build their emergency fund, and start a 529 early. Now, 10 years later, they're not stressed. They're ahead.
And the wild part is both couples made similar income. The difference was their strategy, not the money they made.
And what we want, our listeners to truly take away buying a home is an amazing milestone, but only done with intention.
So don't let your excitement become a trap. A mortgage should support your life, not suffocate it.
If buying means you can still invest, still save, still breathe, you're ready.
Yeah, and if buying means cutting everything else and hoping, praying nothing goes wrong, you're not buying a house. You're buying just future stress.
And the reality check is that debt management. Families deal with four main debt categories: mortgages, auto loans, credit cards, and student loans.
Credit cards are the most dangerous. Student loans are the heaviest burden, and auto loans often balloon beyond what people can handle.
The problem isn't debt, it's chaotic debt. Organized, automated debt, that's manageable.
And the debt eraser, it's life insurance. Something happens to you, your debts just don't magically disappear. They shift to your family and your loved ones.
Life insurance wipes away those debts instantly. Mortgage, covered. Student loans, covered. Income replacement, you're covered.
And it's insanely inexpensive when you're young. Timing matters.
And to bring it all together, you don't need all these tools. You just need the ones that, fit your life right now.
So if you're focused on wealth, Roth IRA.
If you want to relieve future college pressures, 529 plan.
And if you want a lifelong protection, that could be a very valuable asset. It's permanent life insurance.
The real win is starting sooner. Your family doesn't need protection. They need you to have preparation. So today we covered mindset, early planning, 529 plans, Ross, debt, mortgages, life insurance, and why the timing matters.
And next week, we're talking about something just as important: how to build a bulletproof money mindset.
Feeling inspired by today's episode? Make sure to follow, subscribe, share it with someone who's ready to elevate their finances and needs clarity. And tune in next week as we continue to level up your money mindset. Want to go deeper? Shoot us that message.
And your future family will thank you so much for just starting early and starting now.
And remember, on Real Talk that school forgot, life doesn't come with a syllabus, but financial literacy starts right here.